Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bad Dog Garage. This video continues our series in the restoration of our 1953 Allard K3. So what we're going to be working on next is these closing panels for the A post. These go along the dash hoop, close that A panel, the A post off from the engine compartment and so on. So this is one of them. You can see we got rust, we've got pieces cut out. Can't really reuse it, so we're gonna make new ones. So what I started to do, first of all, I took the other one and just flattened it out so we can make a nice pattern from that. So what we'll do is we'll trace this out on our sheet of steel, cut this out, and then we'll start forming it just like the old ones were. So I traced out the pattern on my steel here. You'll see quite a few different lines, but one of the things I'm gonna do is this is the original line for the panel. I'm bumping it out about 1/2 inch. You can see on the original panel, the holes that one of the areas where it bolts the body very close to the edge. In fact, on this other one, you can see they actually had to spot weld in an extra piece of metal so that it would actually reach the mounting points. So I'm just going to increase the original size of the panel right off the bat, which should alleviate that kind of issue. So we'll get to cutting this out in the rough blank next, and then we'll get it down to the actual dimensions of the blank. Okay, so what I've done is gone ahead and cut out the blank to match our old panel. As mentioned before, I added some extra width along this one edge so that when we roll it over and connect it to the chassis, it doesn't have the holes right next to the edge like on the original one. So we'll go ahead and start bending this one up, make sure everything works okay before we get on to the next one. So the first thing we want to do is to bend this radius lip onto this piece. For that, we're going to use the bead roller to get this thing started, and then we'll bend it up, and then after that is all done, we'll go back and do the 90-degree bend on the brake. So after a few passes through the bead roller with the tipping die, I've got a pretty good start on this. I'm just going to use a hammer to finish it up to a 90 degrees, and then we'll get on to the other bend. So after going over to the brake and making a 90-degree bend, we basically have this panel complete. It'll be the mirror image of this one, which goes on the left-hand side. This one will go on the right-hand side, like such. And other than drilling the holes, this one should be set to go. So now I'll just make the other side also. And here's how that panel we just made fits onto the chassis. One thing I did have to do is create a little bump out here where it goes around the dash hoop. That is actually, the original ones had it also. And I have to do that so that I can get close enough to these mounting brackets without that little bump out. It sits out a ways. So with that bump out, everything sits nice and tight against that. So that one's done. Now I can move on to the other side.